Bortle here at the San Antonio Heroes to finish this regional. My goodness, whoa! Introduce yourself to the channel, guys.
What's going on, guys? I'm Zach Warnock. Got 4th place today with True King Dinos.
True King Dinos. My goodness. First regional top as well.
That's right, first top.
Hey man, any notable matches for
Hardest one was probably my last round, which was against Altergeist, because game 1 he set the evenly, and I forgot I'd given him a field spell with set rotation, and so when he flipped the evenly, I banished 1 extra card than I shouldn't have, and by the time we caught it, it was irreparable. I ended up losing that game for it, but we got the match anyways, so it was all right in the end.
Bro, but glad you fixed it. Would you like to show us the spike, bro?
All right. Beginning is just pretty standard. Triple Overraptor, triple Mist. I played 3 Conductor. I know a lot of people play 2, but I just like to see it in the opening hand, so we don't always have to search it. Just makes it easier. The 1 Dogoran and the 1 Pankratops. Both came up a good amount. It's still fairly standard. I know.
Did you break any with the triple CC?
Not today, but last week at Vegas, I had a guy stack double Conductor on me with with drones. Yeah. So I drew both for Extravagance, and it was dead. So it does bite me in the butt a few times, but I much prefer seeing it in the opening hand to warrant cutting one. Babies, also standard, 3 baby, 1 petite, and then the Giant Rex, the Drac Aolo. I know some people are cutting Aolo, and I don't know why, because the synchros are just way too good.
Trishula, my goodness.
Yeah, Trish.
Trishula breaks boards.
Trishula and goes into Calamities, which just makes life easier. And then the 3 Vanisher and the Litho. So far, fairly standard. I know some people play 2 Dogoran and some other stuff, but definitely the 1 is all you need. Triple Fossil Dig and triple Extravagance. Pot of Greed and Search Any Rhoda. It's really good for the deck. For the field spells, 1 Diagram, 2 Lost Worlds, and 2 Mystic Mine. I know a lot of people are only playing the 1 Mystic Mine, but the second one comes up a lot. It helps break boards against like Spirals and Dragon Link, other combo decks. And on top of that, when you break your first Mystic Mine by setting it or whatnot, most people aren't ready for the second one, so they'll start overcommitting monsters. And if you drop the second one on them, they start to freak out. Sometimes they've already burned their outs, or they've used Desires and banished them. And then just the set rotation and the terraforming, just to make it as consistent as we can. Try to get as many copies of Diagram. As far as the board breakers go, play 2 Mind Control, 3 Lightning Storm, and the 3 Evenly. As much as I love this card, I literally did not see it once all day.
Really?
Never once did I draw into this card. 42. So, I mean, it's a little higher than your standard. Most people run 40, but like nowhere near high enough to warrant never seeing this card.
At least see that card.
Yeah, I see it play testing all the time, but literally today, never once did I see this card, and it really upset me because I went against a lot of back row decks.
Oh man, there's a lot of grinding there, man.
Yeah.
A Lightning Storm, though.
Lightning Storms did come in clutch. I got it on the Altergeist guy in the last round, just wiped away everything. For the extra deck, I only play 3 links, the IP, the Phoenix, and the Unicorn. I like Scott Page's idea on the IP, using as the Threatening Roar, but in very rare occasions, sometimes they make too big of a board and they don't care, and you do need the disruption, so I play the Unicorn. And sometimes you just need spot removal, so just good generic links to play anyways. Then Xyz, the rank 4s, we played Baguska, number 60, 2 Dolkas, 2 Logia, and the Calamities. Yeah, I know a lot of people only play 1 Logia, but I figure with a lot of back row, there's a lot, especially here at San Antonio, there's a lot of back row stuff like Guru and Geist and stuff. So having the spell Trap Negate is just really nice to have when you're trying to push for game. You just need to protect yourself from the back row.
Okay, that's fair. I'm sure they like that.
That's the Xyz. And then finally the Synchros is where probably the spiciest thing of the extra deck comes in. Played the 2 Trish, which is standard, and then I played the 1 Mist Worm instead.
Yo, what year is this? I haven't seen this in years.
So it's another level 9 synchro, just as Trish does, so you can build into it the exact same way and overlay for Calamities, but it just gives you more utility with clearing out stuff on the board. So what the idea of it in the main, originally was against back row decks with like Guru and Altergeist and stuff. You can just target 3 back row and just spin them all back, and they have to force trigger something if they want to keep them. But what I ended up using it today most of all was when I'd kaiju the opponent or I'd set rotation, I'd give them a field spell. I'd use the Mistworm and bounce them back to my hand. and then have them reset for next turn, then overlay for the calamities, and it's usually just game after that.
How many times did you summon Mistworm?
Today, 3 times. 2 times bounced back a kaiju and a set rotation, which was just broken.
Bounce your own kaiju.
You bounced my own kaiju and my own field spell that I gave with set rotation, and then one time I just baited 3 back row and forced a strike.
Insane.
But it did its job. And then finally the 1 Chambara. I know a lot of people don't play this card, and it's just a free win half the time. It's such an easy card to just synchro into and just battle phase swing. Onto the side deck. This was some real spice, and I don't wish I had it. It's 2 Threatening Roars and 1 Day of Peace. So I wanted to play Sanctum, but the guy I was going to borrow them from decided not to show up this morning, so I had to improvise for cards that made my opponent pass turn.
Oh my goodness, this is insane.
I would much rather play Sanctum, but it did its job. I did the Threatening Roar on one guy one time, and he established his board, couldn't swing, so he passed, and then I just Lightning Stormed the next turn and sweeped it. So, I mean, it did what it wanted it to do, but obviously Sanctum would have summoned Scythe, and he wouldn't have made a board in the first place. Would have been much better. Played 3 Cyclone. If I had the 3 Sanctums, I would have just cut 1 for the Scythe, but never drew into it, but it was good to have in case there was like Mystic Mind Stun and other back row decks. And then the hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and 3 Nibiru. A lot of synergy with Ash. It's just a good generic hand trap to play. Hurts just about every deck. Droll is good for the Spiral matchup and some other rogue decks like Invoked. And like played against a Trickstar today. Threw that in against him.
Yo, I heard a Trickstar guy was like dynamite people. Like, did he dynamite? Oh my goodness.
I never saw Dynamite, but like his name's DeMarcus. He's a good player, but he reincarnated Droll me in game 2, and so I had the Giant Rex in hand, so I just special Giant Rex and just played Beat Down, swinging over Candina, and he eventually just lost. And then the Nibiru, never saw it, but it was good. I didn't play against any Salads or Dragon Link, but had I gone against either of them, it would have been really nice to have this, so I wouldn't take any of it out.
Shoutouts, bro.
Shout out to the Houston Yu-Gi-Oh scene in general, Galaxy Gaming, Heroes, Senpais, all my playtesting partners. Shout out to AJ Lara, who also topped the event, good playtesting partner of mine. Yes, shout out to Will over here, who's on my team for 3v3 in Vegas. We both did really well. Yeah,
Okay,
super great, man.
I guess Bortle, right?
Yeah, man.
There we go, man.
There we go.
Bortle Nation,
Team
what's up?
Bortle right there.
There you go, bro. Well, congrats on something, bro. Bortle out.